What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Harry the Horse Barbecue, and today we're making a Goldee's barbecue brisket at home. That's right, we're making the #1 barbecue joint in Texas brisket at home today. Keep it locked if you want to check it out. Let's get it.
Harry the Horse Barbecue.
Goldee's Barbecue was rated the #1 barbecue joint in Texas by Texas Monthly Magazine.
It was his hat, Mr. Krabs. He was #1.
They're located out in Fort Worth, Texas, and it's a group of young individuals just doing their thing, making barbecue how they want to make it, and they are killing the game down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the knowledge I've learned from my guy, Jerby Barbecue, and I'm going to apply it here for a Goldee's barbecue brisket. Now, I'm sure you guys have seen the Goldee's wrap method that's been surfaced by Mad Scientist Barbecue and a few other sources. That is the method we are going to go with to rest our brisket. Let's apply those tips and tricks, starting with going shopping for a brisket. This looks like a pretty good brisket. Now, if you've seen any of the inside information on Goldee's Barbecue, there have been sources from Mad Scientist Barbecue, from Harry Sue, all over the place. They're using Creekstone Farm briskets. According to Jerby Barbecue, they're using Creekstone choice grade briskets. Now, I couldn't find that, but I did get my hands on a Creekstone prime grade brisket, and that's what we're gonna be using today to cook up this Goldee's Barbecue brisket. Now, it wouldn't just be a Goldee's Barbecue brisket by doing the wrap method. We also have to use the official Goldee's Barbecue #1 in Texas brisket rub. If you've seen the Mad Scientist Barbecue video where Jeremy goes down and meets up with the crew at Goldee's and my guy Chud, they put 3 briskets to the test using the Franklin wrap method, the Goldee's wrap method, and the foil boat method. In that video, my guy Jerby Barbecue, Johnny White, states that the rub that they're using and the rub that they're selling is nearly identical to what they're using at Goldee's Barbecue. I'm gonna trust these guys and say that this is the rub they're pretty much using, so I wanna check it out for myself at home and see if I can make the quality brisket that they're making down in Fort Worth, Texas. Now, if you're interested, the ingredients of this rub include salt, spices, y'all know what spices can mean, sugar, dehydrated garlic, cornstarch, dehydrated onion, paprika, turmeric, spice extractive, and extractives of paprika. Now, that's what's being listed in this list of ingredients. It seems like some stuff that some of us can't really get our hands on, but you can get your hands on it by going to Goldee's Barbecue's website, shopping their website for the brisket rub, for the all-purpose rub, their Goldee's barbecue sauce, some sick merch like this, and you can go support them by shopping their website or even visiting their barbecue joint down in Fort Worth, Texas. Check out the link below to check out Goldee's Barbecue's shop and their website for their barbecue joint. So the first thing we need to get after is getting this brisket trimmed up, so let's get it. Now, you've seen me trim briskets a bunch of times on this channel. I'm gonna continue to show y'all. Let's get it out of the pack. That's a massive decal. Look at that bad boy. Now, this Creekstone Farms prime grade brisket, it's a 12 to 14 pound brisket. Let's get after this by getting after the decal. I'm gonna remove some of this underside fat. All right, not terribly worried about that. Let's flip it over. Here's our mohawk. Let's get rid of this. Take down this mohawk a bit. Okay, now you can see where I've exposed the fat cap and the flat. Now I can start to work this down and get it to about a 1/4 inch. Before I even get there, I'm gonna give this brisket some shape. This is all terribly, terribly, terribly thin on this end. There we go. And now we can start to work down this fat. The fat's a little irregular over here, but I guess, every cow is different. What can you do? Our Goldee's barbecue brisket is nice and trimmed up. You can see along the edges, we've got a nice, about a 1/4 inch thick of fat. The fat always looks pretty good on these briskets. All right. And just like that, our Goldee's barbecue brisket is all trimmed up and ready to go. Looking pretty good for what we got here. We're gonna hit this now with a binder of Q glue, staple here, and then hit it with our #1 in Texas Goldee's barbecue rub. Now, we always start on the underside. Ooh, this brisket is looking pretty good if I do say so myself though. That smells like barbecue. Smelling real good. Oh, you definitely get the black pepper smell, that onion smelling like garlic. It's smelling like a pretty classic kind of SPG with a little bit of a Lowry's hint to it. Let's see what it tastes like. Salty and garlicky right off the bat, with definitely some coarse pepper in there. This is great. Definitely got those savory notes going on. Not just salty, not just peppery. This is where it's at. All right, Q glued down. Not too much, just enough to spread the love. Let's hit it with our Goldees. Looking good on this side. Flip it over. Let's get it on with our Q glue. This brisket's looking nice and seasoned up with our Goldees rub. Man, look at that color. It's looking outstanding. Can't wait for this guy. This Goldee's barbecue brisket is all seasoned up with that beautiful Goldee's rub. I'll be throwing the fat on the fire during the cook. We're gonna let this hang out for about 30 minutes on the counter while we go fire up the cooker. So let's go fire up that cooker. "40 degrees outside, I'm out here in a t-shirt. What I do for y'all, Goldees. It's what I do for y'all. Wax starter cubes. Let's let it get hot. Ooh, hot. This fire's lit. Not the traditional way that Goldee's Barbecue lights up their cookers, but this is how we rock it around here. Let's close her down and get that brisket on. Ooh, that is raging hot. Our cooker's rocking at about 225 degrees right now, and I want to start this Goldee's brisket nice and low and slow to build some nice smoky flavor. Since our cooker's ready, let's head inside and grab our Goldee's barbecue brisket and get it on. Here we go. Goldee's barbecue time, y'all. Gotta make Goldee's proud with this one. Up and under. Point towards the fire. I just have a water pan in there, using it as a heat deflector. Let's get her on, close her up. Not much else to this one, y'all. We're gonna rock these temps at about 225 to 250 for the first 3 to 4 hours. Then we'll probably start to jack it up to 275 around the 5 or 6 hour mark and try to get this brisket done. We wanna render that fat nice and low and slow. That'll build some great bark. We want that fat to be yellow at the end of this. We want a nice juicy brisket. This Creekstone Prime is gonna be great. Goldee's, love to visit y'all sometime. Try to make it down to Fort Worth. But until then, Goldee's, Johnny, Lane, Jalen, Chuck, somebody hit me up. We'll catch y'all right back. Let's close her down. Boom, shakalaka. All right, y'all, a little over 4 hours on this Goldee's barbecue brisket. Let's take a look. Ooh, oh man, we got some pooling going on. Not looking bad. Ooh, nice and mahogany color. Got that red smoky color all around. Bark is forming real nice. Other than that pooling, it's looking really good. A little dry on the point. Let's spritz it down. Just our classic 50-50 apple cider vinegar and water mixture, just to give it a quick spritz down. Just on the dry spots. But let's take a closer look in on this brisket. We've got a bark that's starting to form along the top here and all around. It's looking pretty good overall for 4 hours. Nothing's burning, nothing is getting too crispy. This fat still needs to render. You can see here it's springy Overall looking really good. We got a water pan rocking. We're rocking about 250 degrees during this entire cook, and I'm gonna leave it there for a little bit longer and then bump up temps to 275. So we'll keep rocking these temps at around 250 and bump them up to 275 shortly. In terms of the spritz, I'm only gonna spray it if I think it's needing it. Other than that, I'm pretty much just gonna go the entire cook unwrapped until the internal temperature reaches about 195 to 200, or until the bark is set and the fat is looking really nice, rendered, and caramel colored. That's how we know that this Goldee's barbecue brisket is going to be ready to be taken off the cooker and wrapped up. If you're unfamiliar with the Goldee's barbecue wrap method, what Goldee's barbecue does is that they will cook their briskets unwrapped, untouched for the entire time. Once that brisket is just about ready in terms of its tenderness, fat render, and bark, then they take it out, they wrap it in foil with a little bit of beef tallow in that foil wrap. Then they'll hold it overnight and get ready for service. So that's what I'm about to do here. I'm about to wrap this cook up. I'll bring you back when I go for the Goldee's wrap. This brisket will be nice and juicy, tender, beautiful fat render, and amazing bark on there. Let's close it down. Boom. And about 24 hours after we put this on the cooker, this brisket is finally ready for us to try. I've been smelling brisket for literally 24 hours and it's driving me nuts. I can't wait to slice into this Goldee's barbecue brisket. It's gonna be phenomenal. When I pulled this from the cooker, the brisket was reading about 195 to 200 degrees Fahrenheit internal temperature. To rest it, I immediately took it out, put the tallow down, placed the brisket on the tallow, and wrapped up the brisket and let it sit on the counter for about 2 hours. After it rested at room temperature for about 2 hours, the brisket was temping at about 160 degrees, so I threw it in my oven overnight for about a 10-hour rest with my oven set to 150 degrees. With all of that being said, let's dive into this brisket and check it out. I'm betting that it's going to be killer. Goldee's is where it's at. Feeling wiggly, jiggly, tender. Boom, big reveal. Oh, that Goldee's rub is smelling so good. Woo! I feel like I'm just like cradling a baby. Don't forget the goods. Oh goodness. Oh God. Okay. Yep. Oh yeah, it's looking good. This baby's ready to be sliced. Let's take an internal and then slice her up. All right, we are rocking an internal of approximately 157 in the point, 150 in the flat. Perfect slicing temps. It's feeling real good, feeling like butter. Oh man, oh man. Oh man. Are y'all seeing this? Oh, look at the seam fat is like completely gone. Tallow on their hands. This is what makes Goldee's barbecue famous. Holds up, but look at that. Slight tug, and it is just game over with this brisket. I can't wait. I can't wait. Ooh, looking so good. Oh my God. Yo, that is so ridiculous. What is in this rub? Good Lord, that is good. This is different than any brisket I've ever cooked. Y'all gotta check this out. This is phenomenal. I love making brisket, especially when it doesn't have to go anywhere except for my mouth. Burnt end slice, that's looking good. I mean, can we get better than that, folks? Oh goodness. She's dripping everywhere. That's the bite. Goodbye. Done. See you later. Woo. Goodbye. Done. Woo. That is some good looking brisket. Oh man. This is incredibly juicy. This is good. Let's try a little burnt end piece. This bite might be the best bite in barbecue. I see why they're number one. Oh, I'm just gonna be here all day. This is my plans for today. There's just differences in textures. You get a little bit of crispiness from that point end. You get the soft, juicy, tender meat on the inside. You have this super luxurious feeling from the fat. This Goldee's barbecue brisket was crazy good, but I'm telling you that this rub is a game changer. I can now see why Goldee's barbecue is rated #1 in Texas by Texas Monthly Magazine. They are just killing the game. This recipe and this style of cooking briskets and resting your brisket changes the game, but I just can't stop. This stuff is addicting. Oh my God. If you're a bend test person, I'd say it passes. Oh, thank you guys for tuning in to Harry the Horse Barbecue. I really appreciate you checking out this video. If you have not checked out Goldee's barbecue website, it's linked down below so you can check this out and you can get yourself some of their own #1 in Texas brisket rub and try this recipe for yourself at home. If you do try this recipe, or if you just want to let me know what I should be cooking next, leave a comment down below and follow me on Instagram at Harry the Horse Barbecue. You know the rules around here. We achieve that crispy, crunchy, yet soft texture bark. You gotta slap that like button. Slap it like I'm about to do the meat slaps right here. Make sure you hit that notification button so you get notified every time we're posting new content. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Look at this juicy, fatty brisket. I did it for y'all, so hit that subscribe button, hit it. And just one more thing, y'all. This one's going straight to the horse's mouth. Catch y'all in the next one. Peace. So good.